and welcome to another BellaHoot tip or video. So what I wanted to share with you is I just took off my latest manicure, and before I start applying my next one, I wanted to show you a little tip. So this is what I had left over last time. I used all of my strips over here, and I had this one left because I didn't need that one for the sizing, and I had these two left. So this time I want to use one accent nail of these, and then I'm going to use a pattern on the rest of my fingers. So instead of using up over here where I can do an entire other manicure, I want to take advantage of some of these strips over here that are left over. Now, just so you know, we'll do some videos on showing you how you can actually make this into a pedicure. You'd use half of each one on your big toe, for example. Then you can cut this one in some strips for your other toes. So most people can get a manicure or a pedicure out of these other items right here, the other strips that they did not need for their manicure. Not everybody, but some people can. So, but let's say, just for the sake of argument, that I did not need or want these for my pedicure. And this tip can be used, in several scenarios. Let's say that you have a younger girl that you want to do a manicure on, and these are not fitting the way that you'd like them to. We can use this trick. So let me show you here. I want to put my accent nail on my little bling finger here. So if I can't use this one because it's too small. See how much of my nail would be showing? Okay. And you cannot use one that's too big because you can't have any overlap over your cuticle areas here, here, or here, or your manicure won't last. It's going to come right off. You can't have anything between your nail hoot and your nail. So you have to push this right up against your cuticle, but be careful not to go over it, because once you do that, it's too big, it won't work. So this one's too big, this one's too small. You normally, if it's just a little bit, you go with the too small one, okay? And you can just stretch this a little bit out over your, the nail. So if it just had, maybe that little itty bitty space, you can likely just stretch the design a little bit when you get all this protective coating off. I don't particularly like to try to do that just because you can tear the design, and I'd rather not. So here's the trick. So let's say we're doing someone little, their nails, okay? And these don't quite fit, and we want to be able to still use them. You can take a piece of Scotch tape, which I of course could not find, so I actually cut a piece of packing tape. Doesn't really matter what kind of tape you use. It'll be easier if it's clear. And you put it kind of on your nail like you would the nail hoots. Now, you can probably use a pen. I've seen it done with that, and it did not write as well. It took a little bit of work, so I just grabbed a Sharpie, and I'm going to make a mess now. Let me get these all out of the way. Okay. So I got my tape on there, so I can draw or outline my nail. As close, doesn't have to be perfect. And I apologize if this doesn't look all that great because I'm trying to do it through the camera lens. Okay. So we kind of get the idea though. Okay. So then now you have a whole bunch of stuff on your nail that I'll remove real quick. Now, mind you, before this video, I took my little tools from my kit, which is an orange stick, and I pushed all my cuticles back. Okay, so I've already done that. I took my little file. It may look a little different than this, but I took my file and I filed all my edges. If you have a buffer, you can buff your nail, and then I took an alcohol swab. This one's a big one, but you should have a small one in your kit that you can clean off your nails with. So you want to make sure your nails are nice and prepped for your manicure. Nice and clean. You want them dry, free of oils, free of lotions, all those goodies. And it is dark in here, so I apologize. Hopefully you can see, but I am doing this at night. That way it has all night to kind of set onto my nail. So I like putting mine on it in the evening. Okay, so now what I can do is I can take my piece of tape, and since I'm going to have to take this backing off anyways, I can put it right on the back of here. And I'm going to use the edge just because that's a little bit less I have to cut. And you could actually do it all the way over to the side, I guess. Hold on. Let's see if I can do this on camera. I apologize. I hate having fumbly fingers on camera. So now I should only have to cut the one side, just trim the one side. But at least this way I'm not guessing what part I have to trim or how much I have to trim. And you know how life goes when you're on camera, this may not go perfect, but we're going to give it a shot anyways to try and show you the tutorial. So I should have put this on the other edge, but that's okay. So we're going to cut off the part of the strip that we don't need. Okay, so maybe I can try and do it this way. These are curved scissors, so they should already kind of help make sure we get the shape of our nail. Okay, so let's see if by looking through the camera I was able to do this. So I can take the tape off now if I want. Now when you're applying these, first of all I should be able to use half of this on each nail. Okay, and now see how much better it fits. Okay, I can round this little edge a little bit more since I have my curved scissors. Sorry, my little manicure scissors. So we can clean this up a little bit if you need to, but I don't think it's going to matter a whole lot. Okay, so I'll clean that up in a minute. Here we go. Always, always, always remove your protective cover off the top when you're applying your nail hoot. Which again, nothing's going to cooperate. You're going to hear me say that every time I do a video. That's okay. I'd rather still show you some tips and tricks instead of doing it all by myself. Okay, so I'm going to cut it in half now that that protective coating's off. You can do it after that coating's off, but you're going to have a heck of a lot more trouble than I just did taking it off at the silver edge. So I'm going to cut it in half. And I've got stuff on my scissors still. That's what that little edge was still. And I personally like to use my orange stick to help me hold my design. So I'm taking the backing off now. And this does a couple of things. You don't have to do this. You could just take it off with your fingers, okay? But the reason I do this is, one, when I'm using my non-dominant hand, I'm at least able to remove this still with my dominant hand, and then I can switch it over here and still apply, okay? And I've got a good hold on it still. It's not going anywhere. It's on the edge of my orange stick, and now I also don't have any oils. I'm not touching the bottom of the design with any oils, so on my skin. So you want to push this as close up to your cuticle as you can without going over your cuticle. I'm going to try and do this on camera, guys, I promise. Okay, see how well it's going to fit now that we trimmed it down? You want to smooth it out. And I particularly, again, I love these little orange sticks because helps ensure I get all the wrinkles out. I'm not getting any oils everywhere. So you want to try not to have any air bubbles underneath there. And again, if you don't do this in the evening, I'm going to guess if you don't do anything first part of your day, that would be fine too. You know, maybe you work opposite shifts or something like that. But if you do this and then go do dishes or take a bath or shower, anything that gets between this nail strip and your nail is going to cause issues. Now you see how I have a little bit of nail still left there? That's where I can take and stretch this design just a little bit. Because see, we didn't cut it perfect. And that's okay. I don't actually mind having a little bit of my nail showing because I love these things so stinking much. They're so much easier than nail polish that it just doesn't bother me. You're going to have a little bit of grow out after a day or two anyhow. So, but yeah, you can stretch it out a little bit and just very, very, very carefully, and that way you don't tear the design. So there we go. And I'm going to get, like I said, all the wrinkles out. Okay, then the next tip is to crease the edge over your nail to help get you a good, perfect place where you need to file the excess off. And you can just take your little nail file that's in your kit. These you can totally apply on the go. Everything you need is in your kit. And once you get kind of a broken edge, you want to file downward. I'm sorry, my camera keeps trying to refocus. So you can remove your excess. You can just tear it off too, but if you file it, you actually get it right up against your nail. And I'm gonna just, sorry, I can't see through the camera. So you should be filing this downwards, but I need to get it to where it's broken enough. There we go. Okay. You tell how much having something between me and my nail just doesn't work for application. And you're just going to keep smoothing it out, and if you go downward again, it's going to get it as close to the edge as possible. And we're all set. So see how that covers my whole nail, and whereas we would have used this one, this would not have covered it at all. You know, it would have had a whole big old chunk left. And then, you know, we had this much strip that we cut off. Where's that? So that's a lot of extra strip that had we left this on, our manicure would not last because it'd be over the cuticle edge. So just a little tip, you can use just some Scotch tape or some packing tape. I cut it down, and a marker or a pen to help you know where to trim down your nail hoots. Thanks for watching.